God will find the way, so do not worry. God is only the solution. And I want to talk about that today and why it's important to remember that, because many of us are living in these fears and doubts and worries. But I want to tell you maybe 3 simple little ways that God has found me solutions by surrendering to him and trusting completely in that divine presence. Now, I call it God. Let me talk about this, because I have a few people who are not as religious but watch my content. I use the terminology God because the word God started to feel like something that loved me, much more than something than universe or quantum field or something like that. So I use the terminology God because I believe that it's not just us that heals us. It's not just us that manifests. It's us inside, but also this outside wonderful force of loving nature. And that is God to me because it feels like a loving energy. So I started to use the terminology God for that reason, because I felt a lot more connected to that energy and supported and loved. So if you like that terminology and you just put down in the comments, I'm loved by God. But let me tell you about why God is always making a path. We're told that the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Fear not. And this is the thing. If the Lord is my shepherd, I want to surrender to that, because it is the idea that there's this loving presence that wants to shepherd me to pastures new and give to me and expand through me and give me the solution and show me the way to heal and allow me to have these wonderful things. So let me tell you a couple of stories, because I think they actually explain it better than me just telling you about it. So the first story that I want to tell you is a really simple one. And I'd like your opinion in the comments about this, or whether you think it was guidance or God, or just happenstance. But I've had a lot of coincidences in my life, and these 3 stories will show you that, where a solution comes up just as I need it. So let me go first into the first story. The first story is my daughter's birthday party, only the other weekend. Now, it's very sunny where I live. Blue skies most of the time, but we wake up on the Sunday morning, everything's booked. People are going to be coming to this horse stables at about 10:30. And what happens? There is grey skies everywhere. Now, it's not raining right now, but it's cold and grey. And that was unusual for this time of the year. So what is my first reaction? Now, this is why I want to tell you this story, because my first reaction was negative in nature. Why of all days would it do this? That's because we're human. You're allowed negativity. Do not fear negativity. I'm human, so why of all days would this happen? That was the first step. And then the next step, and this happens in every story, the next step is acceptance of where it was. So I started to accept that there were clouds in the sky. So we continued on our path in a place of acceptance. But there were hailstones started to come, of all things. Can you even believe that? So I live in Spain. And there's hailstones pouring down out of the sky, hitting the floor, smashing into the van and the car, because we were driving in 2 cars. My wife's messaging me, oh, can you actually get over this? And we were kind of like laughing about it, but she was also wanting, what can we do? Shall we change it up? Shall we do something different? In my mind, I could see a slight glimpse of blue in the distance, and maybe a slight glimpse of blue in that distance too. So that little mustard seed of faith, like Jesus tells us, that can move mountains, was in me. So I accepted where we were. We got to the place. It was raining still, pouring, very cold. My wife got a bit lost. It was all happening. So there was an air of turmoil in the air. But in that turmoil, I started to work with the energy in my body, started to get relaxed, and I accepted that we may have to change it. I accepted that whatever's going to happen, we're going to make her birthday happen, but I may have to just accept it. So the next step was acceptance of where I was and maybe having to pivot. But from that, you let go of resistance. Now, here's the best part. This is what I claim regularly in these moments. God knows only the answer. God knows the path. God knows only the solution. So I put my hands up to the sky. I'm genuine. A lot of people may laugh at me now. Put my hands up to the sky and I said, these clouds are just an image in the mind of God. God knows exactly what to do with them. Today is a great day. My daughter's birthday is wonderful and loving. I flow with God's guidance on this. I'm divinely protected, divinely safe. And I tell you what, just to get to the point of the story, we get to 10:30, everyone starts arriving. What happens? The clouds part, just like the seas for Moses. The clouds part. And what happens? The sun glistens and shines. The blue sky starts shining in the sky. It gets so warm and hot, and we have all these beautiful moments with the ponies, and she's riding a horse, and she just had the best birthday, and everyone said what a wonderful day it was. And that's because God took over. I didn't think I am so powerful that I can control the weather, because everything is me pushed out. Now, that idea is interesting, but it puts a lot of pressure on you to try and control everything. So I could have sat there and visualized the sunny skies. No, I will visualize. I will not let the dark clouds come into my mind. No, instead I accepted them and realized that with God, all things are possible. There is a solution here, and God knows only the solution. And it's always the best solution. And so what happened? The skies cleared. We had a beautiful day. Let me tell you another story. Surrendering to God. One of the things I've always claimed for God making a path for you is I always claim I am divinely protected, divinely safe. Me and my family are wrapped in God's golden healing light. We are safe. Okay, so why this story for me feels beautiful. I had to go out to Dubai for some work, and I brought the family along with me as well. Now, in that time we went to Dubai, we all got a bit unwell. That was unfortunate. But I again assumed that it was to help us to rest and to not take some actions that we were going to take. And we actually were thinking about extending. But because we got so unwell, we really just wanted to get home. So we went home. And I'm telling you, a week and a half later is when all the missiles hit. Now, there is an interesting thing here. And there's many stories of communities and people praying for protection and safety who leave places before bad things happen, because God is the protector, is guiding you, putting you through circumstances to help you make the decisions that protect you. So out of a negative situation where we would have extended and maybe wanted to stay, we decided to go. And what happened? We were divinely protected, divinely safe. We were taken out of that place before any missiles could even fire. Now, again, this isn't because I'm special. I'm not saying I'm special. I just am intrigued by these circumstances. And when you pray and surrender to God, how God can bless you. And this is why I love telling you these stories. Let me tell you one other. So we moved to Spain, and I brought my English van over. The month was May when we brought it over. I looked and I forgot to check it out, but my MOT was due at the end of June. I couldn't believe it. So what did I do? I realised I'm going to either have to take my van back to get it MOT'd before I put it over to a Spanish plate and get it transferred to a Spanish van. And so I started to ring some people up. Can you help me transfer this van? Oh, no, it's going to cost you a fortune. Won't be able to do that. Won't do that. Again, surrendering. Bad things happen. Slight negativity around it. Accepted what it was in that moment of negativity. There's one solution here. God knows the solution. So I'm either going to have to take the van back and get it MOT'd, or something else will come up. But God knows only the best solution. So sitting in that moment again of acceptance of what could happen, where I may have to go, and trusting that God will only bring me what I'm meant to do and guide me and be my shepherd, so I will not worry. And what happened? I was directed to this wonderful company. We rang them up. They said, yeah, that's no problem. We do this, that, and the other. Put it through here. 1,500 euros. It got changed to Spanish plates, past its ITV. With a day before I had to get the MOT done, I had the Spanish plates on. And why am I telling you this? I'm telling you these three simple manifestations because if you bring it to every area of your life, to manifest healing, to manifest abundance, to manifest success. And I've just had a client who hopefully I'll be able to share his story soon, who has just won $1 million in this wonderful turnaround of circumstance. And I will show you this story one day. And if you'd like to hear it, comment down below. And I've also had a woman who was terrified about her daughter's health, who just helped her daughter heal her teeth, and I'm going to explain that in my next video. But these are the things. Bigger things can happen when you bring it into your life in every day. Bring the guidance of God. Bring the acceptance of God into your life in every way. So it doesn't matter how small. It doesn't matter how minute. You are growing in faith every time. Those are just three simple stories. I could tell you hundreds of stories of surrendering to God and solutions coming up. If you have faith in this, This is what you must do. So you must learn to master your emotions. You must never fear negativity. You must accept the situation you're in and claim that there is a solution, and you will go to whatever solution that is needed, and God will guide you in that solution. But what happens as you get into that relaxed state, as you let go of fear, you get to a peaceful state and you claim God in your life, the solution will come up better than you could have ever imagined, and it will work out. I feel sometimes like I've become one of the luckiest people in the world, but it's not luck, it's guidance and surrender to God. If you like this video, give me a like and check out the next one about how this wonderful mother healed her daughter's teeth.